I read the book Novel Without a Name by Duong Thu Huang. It was translated by Nina McPherson and Phan Huy Duong. The book is set in Vietnam and it was released in 1995. The story tells of the Vietnam War through the eyes of the narrator Quan. He is a North Vietnamese soldier of 10 years. The story discusses his life, the soldiers' lives, and the lives of the people back home. A little bit of history on the Vietnam War. Vietnam proclaimed its independence from France in 1945. This began the First Indochina War from 1946 to 1954. France was defeated. After that, Vietnam split into two separate countries. The North section was communist and ruled by Ho Chi Minh. The South was a socialist democracy and was ruled by Ngo Dinh Diem. The Vietnam War started in 1959 and continued until 1975. The United States and the Soviet Union left in 1973. In this project, I plan to illuminate the overall style of the novel. The novel is set up to read like a diary. Quan records the people he meets, things he does, as well as his dreams and memories. Instead of dating the entries, they are separated by 3 dots. The lack of breaks helps the story flow more easily. There were many large gaps in time throughout the story, and it often abruptly shifted between the past, present, and future. Quan tells us a lot of dates throughout the story. He tells us when he is born, the year of the monkey. He also informs us that he enlisted when he turned 18, and he fought for 10 years, making him 28 years old. Toward the end of the story, he informs us that the Americans had left 2 years before that point in time. The date is recorded at the very end of the novel, December 11th, 1990. From the given information, I surmise that he was born in 1944, which is the year of the monkey. He enlisted in 1962, when he was 18 years old. And most of the story occurs in 1972, which is 10 years later. I also surmised what he may have been doing in the military up until 1990, when his last entry was recorded. Vietnam was very busy at the time. After the Vietnam War ended, the Central Highlands insurgents occurred from 1975 to 1992. The Laos insurgents occurred from 1975 to 2007. The Cambodian-Vietnamese War occurred from 1977 to 1989. The Sino-Vietnamese War occurred in 1979 for 5 months. The Second Sino-Vietnamese War occurred from 1980 to 1989. And the Thai-Laotian Border War occurred from 1987 to 1988. He could have been involved in any of these conflicts. Soldiers often do not have access to calendars and clocks when they are fighting, so there could have been a chance that Quan did not date the entries due to not having time and dates accessible. Throughout his diary, Quan lists the Vietnamese code names for different battles. These code names are not readily available online. If these were the real code names for battles, they may still be confidential. Therefore, the author may have decided to leave out dates completely. This is an incredible story that shows the true nature of war. I would definitely recommend it to others. A quick word about the author. Duong Thu Huang is a woman. She led a communist youth brigade to fight the Americans. She spent 7 years living in tunnels and fighting. Later in her life, she was kicked out of the Communist Party. She was falsely accused of sending secrets to other countries and imprisoned. Those papers she sent were the manuscripts of her books, including Novel Without a Name. And those books are still banned in Vietnam. Novel Without a Name is her most recent work.